Welcome back here as our pregame show continues here on the NCBL Broadcast Network. I'm Nick Liebman, now joined by Newport Gulls acting manager Kevin Long here for the pregame show. Coach, how are you?
I'm very good, Nick. Good afternoon.
Coach, this is the final day of the suspension for Newport Gulls manager Mike Coombs. Of course, he was tossed in the game here Friday night against Vermont. Had to sit out the contest on Saturday. Newport was rained out yesterday in a possible makeup game, but with today being a doubleheader, the three-game suspension will be lifted for tomorrow.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get 2 W's for the coach.
On the road on Saturday, Coach, Newport Gulls initially were in the game against the Mystic Schooners, but struggled late.
The guys battled the whole game. We were hitting the ball really well. The hitters really made some great contact and were robbed. Unfortunately, the pitching at the end couldn't hold them, and that's a pretty good hitting club.
How about Ben Roberts, a solo shot in the contest? He has 3 home runs in the last week.
Benny's starting to get his timing down. I talked to him about it today. He feels nice and relaxed. He feels his timing is there, and he's got a pretty good idea on how to attack the ball.
This Plymouth Pilgrims team coming in tonight, Coach, is the best team in the NECBL. They're actually chasing the record for wins in the season, which is 32, held by the Newport Gulls since 2006.
They're a good ball club. They pitch really well. They play great defense, and they get the runs they need in order to win.
They've only seen Mick Van Vossen for a brief moment. Only 4 or 5 of their hitters have seen him this season. Meanwhile, Adam Fossas, their starter here for Game 1, the Gulls got to see for a good 5 innings straight. So is that an advantage for the Newport Gulls? Have you seen a pitcher before like that?
It sure is. If the hitters remember the game, and if they go back and sort of visualize how he attacked them, they'll have a pretty good idea on what they should be doing to be successful.
Recapping some of the injuries for the Gulls lately, a little bit of soreness here and there as guys are banged up at this point in the season. That's to be expected. How's Tommy Edmond doing?
Tommy's fine. He had a couple of days off with that rain out. He was a little bit tender in his shoulder. That happened a little bit when he was at Stanford this year, but he told me he bounced back real quick, so I've talked to him a few times today after he's had a chance to hit and throw a little bit. He says he's ready to go.
How about Reed Gamache?
Reed's good. I think that time away from the game helped him a lot, and he had a chance to relax a little bit. He's been really stinging the ball, if you can remember, the last 3 games.
Looking at the starting lineup for tonight's game, Jose Vizcaíno still has another day off. Could we see him at all tonight or to pinch hit later?
I talked to him a little bit ago. He was at the trainer today, and it's possible that he's going to be out maybe a week or so. He's going to have to get an MRI maybe on Friday. The shoulder's real tender after making that diving attempt the other day in the ball game.
Meanwhile, on the mound here today, we've got Mick Van Vossen throwing Game 1. And who do we have for Game 2?
We have Tripp.
So Jonathan Tripp. What do you want to see from them today?
Well, Nick's a seasoned veteran. Nick had around 100 innings in the spring, and, he's been pitching really well for us in a starting role. I think Tripp, his stock is rising. I think he's going to give him a really competitive game today.
Now, the question mark for the Newport Gulls at the moment is tomorrow, Gulls have to play a kind of a screwy doubleheader at noontime game against North Adams. It'll be an away game played at home. We're going to see John Kilichowski get the ball for that contest. Pitcher to be decided at the moment for Game 2 on the road, a real road game at New Bedford.
Yeah, it's the time of the year. We have to squeeze all these games in before postseason starts in around 10 days. So, the league is doing the best they can to, identify the easiest way to get all these games in.
8 games in 6 days for the Gulls. Just 2 real road trips, though. New Bedford, Plymouth, both within an hour. Not much travel here this week for Newport, Coach, but 5 straight days they'll play a home game. How important is that?
It's always important to do that, and, we're going to do the best we can. Everybody's struggling with how many games they have to play. We're fortunate that most of our games are reasonable as far as distance is concerned.
Newport Gulls acting manager Kevin Long, thanks so much for joining us here in the pregame show. Good luck in the doubleheader today against the Pilgrims.
All right, Nick, thank you so much.
And our pregame show continues. Newport Gulls baseball is next here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.